Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Tytunovich to discuss calls for stronger consumer protection, how CHEQ, of which Guy is the CEO, helps companies with privacy enforcement. Guy, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Great to be here, Jill. Thanks for having me.
You got it. And let's talk about that. Why are we seeing increased calls for consumer protection, particularly around the debate of opt-in and opt-out for consumers?
Absolutely. And I think it's 20 years too late to a certain extent. I think, with everything to do with digital transformation and specifically how the web has become the real world. I mean, people shop on the web, people live on the web, people bank on the web, and they're very much exposed. Attackers are becoming more and more savvy and sophisticated. And we're facing the largest amount of attacks, the largest amount of cyber risk that there has ever been. So I think it's that.
Yeah. So Guy, explain to us, tell us more about CHEQ. What are the products and solutions that you provide, and how are you helping companies with privacy enforcement?
Sure. So CHEQ is the global leader in anything to do with go-to-market security. Go-to-market security, think about it like as if, doing cybersecurity and compliance enforcement as it pertains to your go-to-market team, your marketing, your sales, your customer success. These are the guys and gals who are under attack the most. These are the least tech-savvy people in the company. And we protect those people in a bunch of different manners. From, on the marketing side of things, we prevent non-human users from clicking on your ads and wasting your ad budgets. When it comes to privacy and compliance enforcement, we make sure that your third-party tools, your marketing tools, or whatever you're using, like a chat support widget or product analytics or whatever is a third party on the page, does not have access to your customers' data. And about 15 different other use cases. Human fraud, preventing your competitors from being able to sign up with a false identity to your platform and steal ideas off of you, and more and more.
Would you say that there's a privacy compliance gap?
A huge one. I think even governments are starting to understand it more and more. I think, with CPRA, for instance, the state of California has added some teeth into their ability to enforce privacy regulations, and specifically the CCPA. I think the federal government now understands it, that there's a huge gap that they need to bridge. And I think more than anything, a lot of people, whether it's the consumer or whether it's Fortune 500 companies, do not quite realize that each such company that has a website or an app has hundreds and hundreds of third-party tools that have access to their customers' data. If you're booking a flight on Expedia.com, or if you're buying shoes on Nike.com, every single third-party tool that Nike or Expedia is using has access to your credit card data, to your name, in some cases your address, and so on and so forth. That is the biggest gap that we currently see.
How do you think generative AI is going to impact business security?
It makes it all the more easier for fraudsters to increase their scale, and also for people who aren't extremely tech savvy to be able to become a fraudster, a digital criminal. At CHEQ currently, we utilize, for internal uses, we utilize ChatGPT and BAR in order to build bots for CS, for customer success. For sales, for mundane tasks. We're a company that knows how to build bots and how to decipher whether a user is a human being or not. And yet we use ChatGPT more and more in order to build bots to do, our day-to-day tasks, our day-to-day jobs. Same is done by cyber criminals. So more than anything, generative AI enables people who yesterday couldn't have built bots, couldn't have attacked businesses, to gain those development capabilities at scale, and to attack businesses, attack go-to-market, attack sales, attack sites, attack apps with an army of bots. On top of it, it's going to be a lot more difficult to use tools like human moderation in order to understand whether this is a real person, or whether this is a fake review or not on a product posting on Amazon.
Yeah, it's interesting. You had mentioned before that marketers and security professionals must work together, and then also sales teams as well. But it seems like the security profession has its hand in every vertical of an enterprise these days.
Exactly. And the more than anything in IT and so on and so forth, and very little in anything to do with go-to-market, with sales, with marketing and so on. It's nuts, actually, when you think about it, because these are the people who are the least tech savvy, the least cybersecurity savvy, the least privacy and compliance savvy and aware. And these are the people who hold the wallet, who own, the business units. They're under attack. Information security nowadays doesn't look as much at marketing and the risks that come from that as much as they do on your R&D team, your IT, and so on. I think it's the biggest gap there is in cybersecurity nowadays.
All right, Guy, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks so much.